And then I just realized, oh, it's really not hard at all. Even I can grasp this. And I was somewhere in my 20s when I first learned this whole thing. But we're going to talk about how this works. This is an answer key. This is something that I used to teach a class called CAD Boot Camp. And when I did it, we actually went through and I showed the class this right here, just how we can work with this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that up so you can see it a little easier. And we're going to talk about this. So I pass those scales around, pass them back up to the front when you're done looking at them. But I want to give you this nice, clear resolution. Okay, now what's happening is when you have, for instance, a 1/4 inch scale, it actually starts here at 0. But on the other side of the scale, there's the 1/8 inch scale. Okay, so you have all these numbers and they don't all align with the same scale. So one side references one side references the other. Well, which does which? Well, this is what happens. When you have your 1/4 inch scale right here, you'll notice that the 0 is situated right here. Okay, notice how long the line is. This is further up. See how it's set up right here? So what you do right here is you say, okay, I'm not even going to count that right here. I'm going to say, okay, what I have right now is for my 1/4 inch right now, I am looking at my scaling right here. So it's going to be different. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what it is because it's down here. This is set lower. So if I was measuring something and I put this on one side of a wall and I put this, the other wall ended right here, that'd be an 8-foot wall. Okay, that's how that works. So that part's pretty, does that make sense right there so far? And when you lay this on, you'll see we're going to do it right here. I'll have you guys come up in groups, we'll work on this. And we'll figure that out. So now this part, that part, just forget this for right now. But that's how you'd measure it. And if you didn't have anything on the back here, if it was a little bit longer than that, you say, it's about 9 feet, or rather it's about 8.5 feet. It's 8 feet and maybe 3 inches, okay? But because we want to get better than that, there's this on the other side. And you'll notice that it's divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, why would it be divided up into 12? Inches, exactly. So that means each one of these represents an inch, okay? So this is 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, 10 inches, 11 inches, a foot. And so if we were measuring something, just to show you how this works, you've got this right here. So from this point right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet. And that's what it is. And then you do the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll notice I'm counting these that don't have numbers, okay? Because they count, okay? You can count by 2s, but if you need something between the 2s, you got to count those. So this is 9 feet. It doesn't have a number, but you got 8 feet. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. Now the next thing, now we're going to throw some inches in there to make sure we're understanding this concept. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. So what we have now is, what we're doing is we're measuring something, and we see that, okay, this part, I understand we got 11 feet. Well, what else do we got? We got a little bit over 11 feet, and it comes down to here, 11 feet, and it comes down to the first line right here. So that'd be 11 feet and what?
1 inch.
Makes sense, right? Okay, and so that's how this works. And so it's really not that difficult. It's just a question of practicing and getting your hands around it and seeing what works with it. So this one, we go down here, and it's the same kind of a thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 12 feet right down to here. And then how many inches I go down to here? It comes down to here. This is on the second mark, so it's 12 feet what? 2. And that's how you use a scale. All right? And so I printed one of these up for you with the 1/8 inch, okay? Because the 1/8 inch is pretty much the same kind of a thing, only instead of it having 12 hash marks, it's only got 6. So if it only has 6 hash marks, how much would each hash mark be worth?
2 inches.
2 inches, exactly. So that's how that works. So if I go back to here, just to show you how this works, going back to my CAD boot camp days, all right, if we go back to here, now we're taking a look at our 1/8 inch, okay? So now, that should be yellow. Never stop layering. Okay, so now here, what we got here, same kind of a thing, only now we're using the 1/8 inch side. So if we look at the 1/8 inch side, we're starting at 0. We always start from 0. We'll start with an easy one, 14 feet. Okay, so 14 feet, what are we doing here? Well, this one is set higher. So that means all the values that are set higher relate to the 1/8 inch scale. So that means this is 4 feet on the 1/8 inch scale. That's 8 feet on the 1/8 inch scale. So we go 1, 2, we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 feet. All right? And that's what that is, 14 feet, starting right from the 0. The next example does the same thing, starting from the 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And so we got that. Now 23 feet 2 inches, how does that work? Well, if you're measuring something and the wall goes from here and it doesn't end quite at the 0, it goes a little bit over, well then we have to say, okay, what is it? And so starting from here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 feet. And what? Going down to here, it's the first mark. And how much do we say each of this is worth? 23 feet, 2 inches. All right.
What's the floor number?
What's that?
What's like the 46 number?
What's this right here?
Yeah.
This 46 number? That is from the, that's from the 1/4 inch side.
Oh.
Yep. And so that's how they work. They kind of cross each other. So these are going this way, those are going that way. So these are the ones you're concerned with though, because they're higher up. See that? So that's the difference. These are lower, so they relate to the other side. The 0 is what tells you where you're coming from. If it lines up with the 0, then that's the proper measurement. So 1/8 inch, my 0's here. Anything at that same level of 0, that's at my measurement. And if we slide over to the other side of the scale, the other side of the scale looks like that 1/4 inch. And so if I keep on going down here and go down to the other thing, I get up to 92 using my 1/8 of an inch. Well, my 1/4 inch going this way, I only get up to 46. All right, because the two are twice the size of each other. Okay, one's twice the size of the other. Okay, one's half the size of the other. Does that make sense? Kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. All right. All right. What we're going to do now is there is a quiz about this, and the quiz for this you're going to do this week. It's not hard because you're going to have everything you need, but it's going to be reviewed. That's what we're trying to do here is to teach these concepts. So there's a couple quizzes this week. So what we're going to do is talk about this. So what I'm going to do is